Let's talk a little bit about the gateway to the world from Canada, which is your passport. My passport is probably somewhere around. I could have held it up as a prop, and then all the the spies out there can just write down the serial numbers that might happen to flash across the screen. But I assure you, no one is pretending to be me. I don't even like being me most of the time. But the thing about the passports is that they are getting an overhaul, which the government has unveiled today. And it's going over pretty much as well as you'd expect from an announcement that involves artwork. So let's start with the cover design. The cover of the new passports is not like the old, coat of arms design here, but this one, they've decided the coat of arms needed a modern silhouette outline of a maple leaf. And what is that? Arial font of the word Canada in the top right. And then on the back, you get this little is it Arial? Sean is the font expert. He says it's Arial thin. So not just Arial thin. So they just went with the free fonts you get with Microsoft Word to design our passports. And then you have the little red sort of ivy-like. That's not how maple leaves grow, but I guess we're just rolling with it then. So that's the outside. Now, I don't love the outside, but I also don't like change in general. I don't hate the outside as much as some people. The inside is a different story altogether. Let's just cycle through some of these. I don't know if I want to critique everyone individually. Oh, there we go. You get many of them. So it's like this weird sort of sand art design of painting by numbers. We've got someone doing a sort of a long jump on the grass, which is a very Canadian activity, given that it snows for 360 days of the year. What else do we have here? My little monitor that I had, I can't actually see this enough, so I'm going back to the old monitor here to analyze this. What else do we have? Is that just geese? Okay, well, I'll give them geese. That seems like a pretty reasonable Canadian symbol there. What else do we have? See, some of the stuff I can't even quite make out what it is. That's the awkward part of this. But the whole point of this is that this is not Canadian, it's not aesthetically pleasing, it's not culturally relevant. And if you look at what they removed, it's insane. They removed Terry Fox. They removed Vimy Ridge. You can take that down, Sean. People are tired of those 4 images now because they're going to be seeing them for the next 20 years. Oh, he says it's already down. On my screen, it's still up. So I'm just the one that is forced to stare at it until the end of the show, I guess. But the thing about this is that they've taken down things that were part of Canada's history. And again, remember all the hand-wringing when someone dared put a Canadian flag on the Terry Fox statue at the Freedom Convoy, and they were saying it was desecrating Terry Fox. And now the Liberals have just stripped Terry Fox off the passport altogether. Melissa Lantsman, who is the Conservative MP, tweeted out, a bunch of Liberal politicians got together to talk about how to fix their abysmal record of passport delivery and unacceptable wait times, and instead they landed on kick Terry Fox out of the passport and cancel the Battle of Vimy Ridge. Let's replace them with this is great. Let's replace them with a man holding a rake and pictures of a boy about to go swimming. So the boy going swimming is about to go into the Atlantic to swim across the ocean because he's not vaccinated, so the Liberals aren't letting him get on a plane. That's what the boy swimming represents. The guy with the rake is representing all of the shredded passports of people that don't want to look at them anymore, that are trying to just get rid of them to throw them in the big dumpster when the design changes. So now I don't know if they're going to pre-order this stuff, how long it's going to take if there's a change in government next year. It's going to be like the old Ontario license plates where the new guy comes in and just overhauls with a new design that he likes better, and then everyone gets mad about the change because they've just grown familiar with it. But I will say, I was buying a present for my nephew. It was his birthday recently, and I went to Toys R Us. And I don't often frequent toy stores, let alone this one. But what struck me is that in this little potted plant right in front of the toy store, there was a mother goose and her goslings, I think they're called, right? Not like Ryan Gosling, but is it goslings? Yeah. Sean says it's goslings. I'm not this is what happens when you don't commune with nature as one should. Maybe I should spend more time with the Canadian passports. But, and there was a father goose, I presume. I mean, you never want to be he could have been gender non-binary, but I believe a father goose standing guard, which is a familiar sight because whenever there's a mother goose, you got to run because there's a father goose nearby and they will like dive bomb at you. I once had to kick one in Detroit because he was flying at me. But nevertheless, the thing about this is that they had like sort of just ceded this area to the geese. Like the geese won. And instead, they had like set up all this caution tape and put signs so you couldn't actually go in the store the way you normally would. You had to like walk around. And this is what happens. When a goose decides that they are going to camp out somewhere, we all just capitulate because the geese actually run the country. And sometimes when you look at, for example, what the Liberals passed at their convention, you'd wonder if the geese would do a better job than some of the people involved. But all of that is to say, I'm actually prepared to say the goose should be on the passport, even if we don't like them. They are generally our overlords. But then, yeah, like the guy raking and the guy swimming, and there's like a weird. So on maybe we put them back up there. Page 36 specifically, 36 and 37 on the passport. There's like a polar bear on the right, and on the left there's like it's like a penguin, but it kind of looks like a ladybug. And if you tilt your head ever so, it looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So, and then underneath him, there's a fish. So it's probably a penguin and not Quasimodo. But the whole point is, I actually wonder if AI could have done a better job at a fraction of the price to the federal government. Just to like play around, I tried to spit out a couple of AI generated images, and they all looked like very weird, like Soviet passport designs, which, maybe these days is more accurate. But anyway,